If you're watching this is real, okay? I talk about 3 steps of rent-to-rent control, but once you got the deal, you got to cash flow it. If you don't cash flow it, it's not fun, is it, Dave?
It is not fun.
So let's just have a little look at what's going on. So what's been your most successful month ever in this unit?
I reckon it was June, July time. I would say probably June. The takings, because I'm using booking.com and they hold on to your money a bit, it could even have been as much as nearly $5,000 in that 1 month.
Wow.
But it obviously booking.com, it rolled into the next month slightly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a really I was like, wow, fully booked.
So you're loving it there.
Yeah.
Profiting 1,500, $2,000, happy days.
Happy days.
But you've had some bad months by the sounds of it.
Yeah, I'm just approaching now. I've got 2 bookings this week. There's somebody in this weekend. But after that, the next one is at the end of October.
Yeah.
It's just that gap in the middle. Because I know it's not slowdown month yet. It's November's the slowdown month where things go really quiet. And I'm expecting that. Although I've got a couple of bookings in November as well, weekends, strangely.
Why do I not believe this is a bad situation?
I know.
No. So let me spit some game. So basically, my understanding is, and we see this a lot when we're doing luxury SA, cottages, etc. Because as I say, this cottage is beautiful. It looks like the cottage from the holiday. Is you have massive weekend demand.
Huge.
Right?
Yeah.
Every weekend booked.
Yeah.
And then it drops off in the week. Is that what you're finding?
That's what I'm finding. Nobody's booking those weeks. You might get the odd person that might book Thursday to Sunday.
Yeah.
But not Monday to Sunday, which is what I want.
And have you had any contractors at all?
Yep, I've had 2 sets of contractors in there, 2 different firms. They were great, brilliant, did what they do. Came in for like 4 or 5 days, weren't hardly at the property.
Sweet.
Fantastic deal, you know. Yeah, they were good. I want more of that, and I'm trying to sort of follow those up and see if they're coming back into the area, whether they need more. But I think these are just one-offs.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, basically, is the issue we've got in SA is once all the weekends are booked up, you're never going to get the long-term bookings. So we had a mastermind session upstairs earlier. We're live at the retreat, where there was over 100 deals in the room, by the way. A lot of success. And basically, in a nutshell, what you want to do is a duplicate listing. So you've got one listing which is more aimed at your short term, and then one where you have a clear diary, minimum stay maybe 7 nights, where you can get long-term bookings.
Yeah.
Because most contractors that we want are staying for long-term. So that was the first tip that we gave you. The second tip, which is really interesting, is you could potentially massively inflate your weekend pricing.
Yep.
Which maybe avoids people booking it too soon and maximizes the income, right?
I thought I'd raised it up because people are moaning that it's not good value at 210 a night.
Right.
And I just had everything set at 210. So I thought, right, no, weekends go up. 265.
Nice.
265, Friday, Saturday, Sunday drops down again because not many people book Sunday. And I thought, this is enough. People will look at that and go, they think, do I want to really book the weekend or do I want to do something else? And it's not enough.
They're still booking.
They're still booking like crazy.
So I literally just hike that up until the bookings tailor off, especially your big weekends, David. Like, make sure that your big weekends, your Christmases, your New Year's, and some of the holidays, etc. If you've got events in the area, you need to make sure you're priced effectively. I was speaking to somebody that's got a listing in Cheltenham, and for the races, you can literally get £1,500, £1,600, £1,700 a night.
Yeah.
Now, remember, my friend, on those big months, because this summer you didn't optimize it.
I didn't. No.
The pricing was still low.
It still was very low for summer. And also, I hooked up for Price Labs for a bit for the free trial. And they went through the whole Airbnb calendar and they optimized the prices over Christmas. And I didn't alter them by mistake or whatever. And Christmas has turned out really good because they had really high expectations per night for that. And I thought, well, that's never going to book, but I'll leave it, see what happens. And Christmas is now booked up literally from about, I think, the 18th of December right through to the 2nd.
Perfect.
And it's covered that month's rent.
See, this summer, if you can hike those prices up to 300 quid a night, all of a sudden your cash flow is going to be $3,000 over the summer, which therefore means if your cash flow is only 500, or if you break even in the winter, that brings your mean cash flow to where you want to be. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. That's what I need to do, is capitalize on the summer months, because the dry months, November, are going to be there. The January, the February, they're not going to be there. So if I make it so that the whole year is covered by the summer month, and just do it like that, and maybe that'll work better for me, I think. Yeah.
And final tip, which is really, really important, is there's only so much you can do with a particular listing. So I talked about it earlier, the scale model that we referred to. So for me, if I'm you and I've got a property that's selling at the weekends but not so much at the week, I want to get something bread and butter in a more central location that's going to get them contractors a bit cheaper, maybe a little bit bigger, and then that's going to even out your portfolio, bro, so we can scale up. But on a positive note, how does it feel to, like, you know, to obviously before you got this deal, you had a bad experience?
Yeah, I had not with Simon, with a previous company, I had a rent-to-rent deal source, and I'll say deal source, I paid a lot of money for it, and it just didn't work. It was being managed, there was a lot of backhanders going between the management company and the deal sourcer, and everything going on, and it just wasn't a viable option from the start. But they still sold it to me, saying, yes, it's viable. But yeah, I dropped that like a hot stone. As soon as I got in contact with you, you said, we need to look at this. And you looked at it and you said, really? It doesn't sound that profitable. It doesn't sound right. It's not got the right number of bedrooms. It's only got one bedroom. So avoid that. Get rid of it. And then obviously I've got this other cottage. That came online. That one, get rid of.
Perfect. So we replaced that. So are you proud of yourself? Like, how does it feel to be able to go from using a sourcer that went wrong to then find this deal that in principle can work great?
I feel good, and I feel a lot more informed. Since I've been with you, I've learned a lot more practical stuff, like the whole tip about stay away from 1 and 2 beds. 3 beds, 4 beds, 5 beds, 6 beds, go to that extent. Nobody ever tells you that, you know, but you've come up front. That's the first thing you said. Avoid 1 bed, 2 beds. Yeah, I thought, I got one of them. I need to get rid of it. But yeah, no, I've learned a lot more, and I feel better that I've got the knowledge now to move forward.
Perfect, David. And final thing for anybody watching at home, what would you say? What would your big piece of advice be?
Well, I haven't done it yet, but I feel that what you say in the scaling, I didn't get it at first, but now I understand. When you showed me that graph today, that was like an eye-opening epiphany moment.
Really?
You might have one that's doing that, but if you've got one that's doing exact opposite at the opposite time, and then another that's flatlining because it's just irregular income, and another one, it evens it out. And that was the missing link to me. It didn't, that's what my missus couldn't get. She couldn't understand that I need to scale because I need to even things out. She didn't understand that that's what, by scaling, would give you this result.
Yeah. So, Dave, you're the man. I appreciate you. If you're watching at home, just to land this plane, so to speak, nothing's guaranteed, right? So when you control a property, we have to cover our risks. And we keep it real right here, man. This ain't no hippie stuff, right? This is real stuff. Not every deal works, and we have to be prepared to make them work. But the key thing is to add more deals. That's going to give you the diversification. So if you have one that's not necessarily performing the best in the winter, let's get one that can lock in the contractor bookings so you can get the financial independence that you want. Dave, you're the man. Thank you. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Let's go and have a drink, mate.
Yeah.